For many years, it's been common for retailers to open their doors at 6 a.m. for Black Friday shopping to begin. It wasn't until the late 2000s that many began opening earlier, like 5 a.m. or 4 a.m., but this was taken to a new extreme in 2011 when several retailers, including Target, Kohl's, Macy's, and Best Buy, opened at midnight for the first time. In 2012, Walmart followed by announcing that their stores would open at 8 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day, prompting calls for a walkout among some workers. In 2014, when stores such as JCPenney, Best Buy, and Radio Shack opened at 5 p.m. on Thanksgiving Day, and stores such as Target, Walmart, Belk, and Sears opened at 6 p.m. on Thanksgiving, 3 states, Rhode Island, Maine, and Massachusetts, prohibited large supermarkets, big box stores, and department stores from opening on Thanksgiving due to something called the Blue Laws. The Massachusetts ban on forcing employees to work on major holidays is not a religion-driven blue law, but part of the state's common day of rest law. So in my podcast, I wanted to explore if it was ethical to allow retail workers to work on Thanksgiving. I'm here with Tyler, a Walmart associate from Cibolo, Texas. Tyler, what were your on Thanksgiving?
I worked from 4:45 to 9:45. It was right when the Black Friday sale started. They just stocked up on cashiers.
And did you get time and a half that day?
Unfortunately, I didn't. The way that Walmart works is you get PTO hours, which is paid time off. So instead of getting the time and a half, they just gave us extra PTO, which we used to call out or for like vacation or illness or anything along those lines.
Okay. And did your family have to plan around when they ate their Thanksgiving feast for your work schedule?
Fortunately, we always eat around the same time every year, which is about noon. So there wasn't much planning. However, I was really sad I didn't get dessert. Had to leave to go to work. So I wouldn't say they planned around it, but I did miss out on some of it.
What are your personal feelings about if it's ethical to open Black Friday shopping on Thanksgiving?
Personally, I would love to not work on any holiday because I'm very family orientated. But I can see how families or people without families or different cultures or whatnot who don't celebrate Thanksgiving, like what are they doing on that day? Have them go get their deals, but I feel like you shouldn't be required to work on Black Friday or Thanksgiving.
I'm here with Amy, a holiday shopper. Amy, how early do you start your Black Friday shopping?
In the past, I have gone on Thanksgiving evening. We live near an outlet mall, and I will go there because they are open in the evening. This year we did not. There wasn't anything in need of that night, so we did go out on Friday. We got up at 6, and we were at the store by 6:30.
Okay. And do you research your sales before you go to each store?
I do. I research what I go by my list of all the people I have to get gifts for, and then I match it to the sale. I also make sure that it is a deal. It's worth going and fighting crowds. If it's not, if it's just a couple bucks, then I usually don't do it.
How does your family feel about you leaving Thanksgiving early to go shopping?
For the most part, they're okay because usually we eat dinner pretty early, and kind of if my children go or my husband and I, we go and we kind of make it like we get a cup of coffee and we kind of make it fun. And if it's too crowded, we have been known to just walk away because we're not going to fight the crowds.
And have you ever worked in retail?
I've never worked in retail. I did work at a grocery store growing up as a teenager. I do remember having to work like holidays, anytime could have been 4th of July, anything to do with food. I do remember like customers would get upset if the items weren't on the shelf and it's like you're here the day of. So that was frustrating. I didn't like it.
So have you ever actually worked on Thanksgiving?
I have. I did work Thanksgiving. It was probably the first year that I worked at the grocery store. I had to work that evening.
And do you personally think that it's ethical for employees to work on Thanksgiving?
I believe, especially this day and age, that we have a lot of with the diversity is we don't have a lot of people that celebrate an American holiday. So I think it should be voluntary. They should ask for volunteers first to work on the day. It should not be a requirement.
I'm here with Scott, an assistant general manager at Kohl's. Scott, how long have you been working at Kohl's?
I've been with Kohl's now for going on 13 years, but as a manager for 6.
And is this your first time working on Thanksgiving?
No, I've actually worked the previous 3 years.
And what did your hours look like this year?
I usually get in about 2 o'clock. The store's open at 3. However, I get my staff prepared and make sure that we have everything set up.
Did you have to plan your Thanksgiving feast around your working schedule?
Oh yeah, we plan all the time. I'm married, I have 2 young kids, and we usually have our Thanksgiving meal around 12 o'clock. Friends come over. However, they do save a dessert for me when I get back.
How does your family feel about doing that?
I mean, they're not real excited about it, but they're glad that, it's a paycheck and it takes care of the bills. However, it is hard to be away from my family on the holiday.
Okay, and does Kohl's make more money on Thanksgiving versus just any other day or just Black Friday shopping?
Oh, definitely. Our sales see a significant increase over Thanksgiving and throughout the weekend. Now, it has decreased some over the past few years because our Kohl's online shopping has taken off more, and we're seeing stronger gains there where more people are trying to avoid the rush of traffic and leaving their families and just ordering online.
How would you describe the shoppers on Thanksgiving?
I mean, pretty much the same. I mean, we always kind of joke around that it's in 2 groups. It's kind of the ones that are really, more, I guess, festive and excited are the ones that are doing it more as, hey, we're going to go shop on Thanksgiving night and beat the crowds and have fun. And then you have the ones that don't really want to be there, but they want to take advantage of, our great sales and doorbusters. So usually maybe their attitudes might be a little more sour, but in general, everyone's pretty happy and excited, I think, to be out shopping and getting the deals.
Do you notice a difference in your employees' work ethics on Thanksgiving?
I have a great staff. I don't really see much of a difference. Sometimes they're a little slower. I don't know if it's a big meal or if they, probably would rather be with their families or friends or home watching the Cowboys or something. But in general, they're real good employees and they show up and work hard.
Have you ever shopped on Thanksgiving or done Black Friday shopping?
Good question. I really haven't on Thanksgiving because I'm usually at work, and then I really don't think I'd want to go, even if I didn't work retail, I don't think I'd want to go out on Thanksgiving, but I did go out on, Friday morning, actually got to a store really early and got some gifts for the family and some, doorbuster deals.
Do you personally think it's ethical to have your employees working on Thanksgiving?
Ooh, another good question. I mean, ethical, yes, I do. I mean, I don't think there's anything unethical about it. Retail's not the only thing open on Thanksgiving. I mean, if you work, for the city with, work at with the electrical offices and stuff, I mean, you're in and, different civil service jobs have to work, like your first responders and stuff, and people work at convenience stores, and some of the restaurants and fast food stores are open. So it's not a totally new concept. It may be more newer on the retail side, but I mean, as long as I've been around, people have worked on Thanksgiving. Do I wish my employees didn't have to come in, or myself? Sure, but no, I don't think it's unethical.
Okay, thank you for your time.
Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. And go Red Raiders.
To conclude my podcast, I think that Thanksgiving is an American holiday, and the U.S. being such a diverse country, that Black Friday's become so normalized and isn't really going anywhere. But after hearing the point of views, I do agree that it should be volunteered and retail workers shouldn't be forced to work the holiday, which is why I guess stores do have seasonal workers. So I conclude that it isn't necessarily unethical.